Thoughts on Blue, Black, Shadow, and Legacy. I think because of how efficient Delver of Secrets is, you don't need to lean into Death, Shadow, and Legacy. What would your ideal format using MTG cards be? Would it be modern with a different ban list, or would you prefer something with different sets allowed? I kind of really like the idea of a new non-rotating format starting with something like Origins. I definitely like the idea of a new non-rotating format in Magic at some point. Like, Modern's gotten pretty deep. Lantern is the style of deck where its power level is fine, but it's not so powerful that people are willing to play it and be miserable playing it. Because by and large, a lot of people find Lantern very miserable to play with, because it's a very tedious deck to play. So you have to enjoy the style of gameplay that Lantern creates, or think the deck is much better than everything else in the format. And Lantern isn't much better than everything else in the format. Did I have an opinion on Frontier when it was a thing? Frontier was never a relevant thing because it wasn't cultivated by Wizards of the Coast. I think whatever their new non-rotating format is, it better not involve fucking fetchlands. Please, for the love of God, Wizards of the Coast, if you are out there, if you are watching, if you are listening, when you are ready for a new non-rotating format, for the love of all that is holy, no fetchlands. Please. Thank you. I appreciate you. Fetchlands are like loading screens. Fetchlands are slow and clunky, and fetchlands, a fetch shock or fetch shock mana bases especially, they eliminate deck building decisions a lot of the time because it's very easy to figure out what are the optimal lands to have in your deck. And in paper Magic, they enable people to cheat, and they are just slow and clunky. The last set with fetches was Cons. Origins is after Cons, right? So when I suggested Origins, that would mean no fetch lands. Yeah, I think Arena will very much be a catalyst for there being a new non-rotating format. I think it's very, very likely that Arena will be a catalyst for a new non-rotating format. All right, so what am I doing here? I think Explosivesing just the Sakura Tribe Elder's probably loose, so I'm gonna go and attack them with this. I actually don't really want to crack this fetch land, because we actually bottomed a bunch of lands with that Ancient Stirrings. We're in a pretty bad spot here. We've got kind of mediocre mid-range cards, and our opponent's playing a combo deck. What about fetch lands without shocks? I think fetch lands without shocks will invalidate less deck building decisions, but I think fetch lands from a loading screen standpoint are just miserable. All right, so we're dead to bounce land plus Titan here. Vesuva does it too. Maybe, we don't know. And like, again, I feel like, and this is gonna be another, it's like a pseudo game design rant. I feel like people that, like, when they create a format that expect every card to be legal, I think that's really silly. I think it's okay to ban Magic the Gathering cards. Like, if you created a format starting at Origins, it doesn't mean that every card printed since Origins has to be legal. It's okay to design cards in a way, or to design things and then like have them not be okay in every format. All right, Thragtusk is slow here. I definitely want these wet balls. I think Reclamation Sage is fine. Do I want these explosives? I think explosives is probably too slow, right? I think I'd much rather just have Slime and Reclamation Sage for killing their things. Do I want Path to Exile? The Path to Exile doesn't break them up because they just keep getting more Titans, but it can buy us a little bit of time, which is nice. I don't really feel like I have anything I really want to cut, though. I kind of like all of the cards that are in my deck right now. I think I'm going to leave the Path to Exiles out and just hope to kill them before they Titan me. Yeah, Sakura Tribe Scout lets them put an extra land from their hand into play. RPM rants per minute. These are rookie numbers. I mean, Chains of Mephistopheles wouldn't even be that good in Modern, right? It's only okay in Legacy because of, Well, that's a wet ball. Let's scry into some lands here, hopefully. Nope. Before people say anything, I am aware that Damping Sphere makes our Ancient Tombs worse. I am aware. I put it in my deck, very much aware of that fact. Gaddock Teeg doesn't stop creature spells. It's only non-creature spells, so Gaddock Teeg doesn't do anything in this matchup unless my opponent's still one of the few Amulet players that has a Hive Mind package. Yes, Damping Sphere does not affect Utopia Sprawl. Utopia Sprawl is what's adding the additional mana. The actual land isn't adding the mana. Damping Sphere only cares that the land itself is adding the mana. If you look on the GoatBot's website, Cryptic Remand, you'll see that there is an expected value while opening chests, and generally it's still worse. All right, hopefully they can't kill this Damping Sphere, and it'll give us time to unfumble here. Yeah, the fact that Amulet is templated as a trigger instead of a replacement effect is one of the poor things. This deck would be a lot less obnoxious if it was templated as a replacement effect. It's funny, they're actually just gonna kill us through this Damping Sphere. Like, they have any tap land next turn, they can Titan us. They just get, like, Slayer, Stronghold, plus Gemstone Mine off their Titan, and then we die. Am I dead yet? Nissa Vital Force. I think we're dead. I think we're dead. But that's not a Titan right-click concede dead quite yet. Just making sure Magic Online works there, just in case. Changing it from a trigger to a replacement effect means amulets don't stack while they're in play. It means if you have 2 amulets, you don't generate extra mana. So amulets' most obnoxious, most busted draws involve multiple amulets of Vigor being in play. So if it's a replacement effect, you wouldn't get multiple untaps on every land. If you type !donation queue in chat, you'll get a link to a spreadsheet that has all the decks that we played today in it. I'm not sure that we can beat this emblem, to be fair, so... God, Azusa plus Nissa emblem. We are so fucking dead. I'm conceding to a Titan, okay? I'm conceding to a Titan. I'm not gonna concede till they tighten us, but when they tighten us, I'm gonna concede. Nice wet ball nerd, right? Yeah, Vital Force is kind of sweet in their deck. I don't think I've seen that before. Seems kind of awesome. Am I dead yet? Yeah, this just makes it impossible for them to brick off. Just makes it pretty impossible. All right, while we're waiting for the next match to pop, I would just like to say good morning, afternoon, and good night to everybody wherever in the world. Hopefully you're enjoying watching us get dumpstered this morning. My name is Jeff Holgan. I'm a full-time streamer and content producer here on Twitch. We stream lots of modern memes and some legacy and some vintage. Also stream games like Hearthstone and Hex on occasion. If you're enjoying my stuff, please consider subscribing to my channel. My subscribers are a big part of why I'm able to stream full-time like I do. You can also support my stuff by supporting some of my sponsors. MTGOtraders.com. Love to buy and sell some Magic Online cards with you. And if you use code Hoagland PayPal at checkout with them, you'll save 8% on your singles orders there. CoolStuffInc.com buys and sells a lot of cool stuff, including TCG singles. Using promo code Jeff5, you can save 5% on Magic, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh cards with them. InkedGaming.com would love to help you customize your gaming experience. Using code Jeff12, you can save 12% on custom playmats, mousepads, binders, and bags there. And of course, myself and the wonderful moderators here in Hoaglandia would like to welcome everyone. Please talk to your friendly moderator about your complimentary timeout. All right. Bit of a rough start to the league after bricking and dying there against Amulet Titan. Had the Damping Sphere, but didn't have enough lands to follow it up with any relevant pressure. Yeah, I mean, this hand is fine. It's like not super exciting, but it's got a lot of lands. We've got turn 2 Reshaper, turn 4 Smashers. I think this is a keep on the play. TLDR, Hex fixed a bunch of the shit I had issues with, so I'm playing it again. It's weird how game companies can make improvements. It's so strange when they like listen to player feedback. Does adding Hex mean Hearthstone is done for now? No, not necessarily. I can play lots of games, and like Hex doesn't have a tablet version, so like I'm still playing Hearthstone on my tablet and stuff. I think I'm planning to do a Hearthstone stream later this evening, probably after the kids go to bed. I am going to be done doing Hearthstone streams in the afternoons. I'm just going to be doing Magic during the daytime. There's just, well, that lets us curve out fantastically here, right? Just like turn 2, turn 3, turn 4. When an amulet being written different, so it does not trigger, mean you have to deal with time stamp, which things like Thalia and Kismet. I have no idea. Revenged. Actually don't know. Probably. Do I stream any non-card games? No, not with any regularity. I've streamed a little bit of Overwatch and a little bit of Skyrim in the past, but I really don't play non-card games on the computer very often. The Devoted Druid? Nope, just a Voice of Resurgence. Yay! Shitty green-white Faramir match. We lost match 1 to Amulet Titan Burgle. Yes, this is just like easy path to Exile. And like Smusher smash you next turn. What non-card games do I play? Nothing these days, really. I played some Skyrim and some Overwatch in the past, but I'm old and slow and my reflexes suck. By and large, playing games and just losing isn't fun. If Skyrim Together releases later this year like they're supposed to, I'll probably stream some of that when my wife and I play together. Because Skyrim is great. Smush. I'm really glad they didn't play the Courser this turn. Because, like, now they don't have a good block for the Matter Reshaper. Did you know for 7 mana you could cast Karn? Just in case you're unaware. 7 mana lets you cast Karn in Modern. Oh look, my Matter Reshaper turned into a Voice of Resurgence. God bless us, everyone. Hopefully next turn, this Ancient Stirrings will find another Smusher and we'll smush, smush, smush. I mean, mimic success, right? There's a reason why almost every card game developer under the sun has tried to mimic Hearthstone's model. We actually have played Borderlands 2 together. We started playing. We should probably play that again. We started playing together, and then she got kind of busy with work, and we stopped. Well, that's a great draw, right? That lets me just, like, blink this nerd. This can turn into a 5/5 here. Julian, thank you very much for the brand new Twitch Prime support. I appreciate that. And there's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now, so I appreciate you choosing to support mine this month. Do I give them a turn of reprieve here? I feel like I'm supposed to play the Displacer here, and then I can attack with Reality Smasher. Because if they try and line up blocks, they just get to blink their shit. Well, that makes that decision easy. Just got my first Modern F&M this week playing Panza. Can I link the list? You can feel free to message me a list or pop into the subs Discord and post it there. I don't look at lists in chat or open links while streaming. Just too much going on. So Explosives actually seems kind of mediocre in this matchup. There are a lot of their threats cost 3, and we can't really get that to 3 mana. Path to Exile seems great. I think Cataclysmic Gearhulk is probably worth bringing in. This Acidic Slime seems a little bit medium. Let's do this. Yeah, you're right. I could have been a 6/6 there. How much worse is Ratchet Bomb than EE? It's worse, but it's definitely not strictly worse in this deck because this deck has a hard time getting explosives past 2. You can with Noble Hierarch, but it's pretty rare. So like the fact that Ratchet Bomb can get to 3 and 4 is definitely a real upside. I don't think Linvala is good enough here. I don't think I really care about their knights that much. I did not, Mike Mind. I'm running to the restroom really quick before this next game gets started. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. It seems fine. Not super exciting, but just fine. Message you the list. Would you see if you'd play in the queue? Yep. Dropping me a message is the best way to see if I did something to the queue. I think Cataclysmic Gearhulk's great. What's going on, Mark? Glad you enjoy the content. Welcome. Yeah, I think especially in decks that can only produce 2 different colors of mana consistently, like Ratchet Bomb is not a strict downgrade from EE. I mean, you could. I don't know that it's necessary, but you definitely could. Classic no turd 1, no turd 2 play. All right. I think I'm just getting a basic forest here. I want to leave a plains in my deck so they can't ghost quarter me off of my white too aggressively. We'll play this, and then next turn we'll probably go evolution into a Thought-Knot Seer. Wait, what? Yes, deal. Resolves. Sure. I guess. Sounds good, Alcohol. Can you, I'll grab it now. Yeah, I already looked at this one. All right, so that's a 4/4. So, do I want to path this turn? I could path this, or I could go Noble plus Matter Reshaper, and then this attacks as a 4/4. Do I really want to let them untap with Knight of the Reliquary, though, is the question. I think that's probably fine. I think I'd rather just advance my board here. And pressure their health total a little bit. Next turn, we can evolve Matter Reshaper into a Reality Smasher and double path to Exile, which is nice. Now, I think I want to use my mana efficiently, Tom. I think I've got enough kind of expensive, clunky things in my deck that I want to just use all my mana every turn. You should private message me on Discord, the one. If you look in the top right-hand corner, you should see my name separately, and because we have a shared server, you should be able to private message me. I think we just want to evolution plus double path here, right? So like keep their board clean, and then next turn we can play a follow-up smasher. So we get them for 8 this turn. I guess they could potentially path us here. But, like, if they path us, that takes the last 2 cards out of their hand. And then, like, we're hitting them for some amount of damage here. And, like, if they do take 8 this turn, that leaves them at 5, which means our follow-up smasher should be pretty lethal next turn. We're going to see a Thought-Knot as a smasher with that evolution. Why? What's the reason? I kind of just want to kill my opponent. Like, I'm clearing out both their threats here. So, like, what's the reason to get... Can you give me a reason to give me Thought-Knot? Because I don't have a reason offhand to get Thought-Knot. If I had a reason, I probably would have gotten it instead. They can Ghost Quarter me off the follow-up smasher. That's interesting, too. I mean, I feel like if they had Collected Company, they probably would have played it last turn instead of playing the second Knight of the Reliquary. At least that's what my gut says. My gut says if they had a company, they probably would have played it last turn. Is it bad that I feel like I don't want to say, I hope they don't ghost quarter me out loud, just in case my opponent's ghosting and hears me say that? Is it bad that, like, that's the thought that runs through my head? I mean, they don't know that we're not playing basic waste, to be fair. They could have maybe risked it, and this is a utility land too. I'm not playing around a path to exile here. If they have a path, they're gonna kill us. So I'm just gonna smush here. Do we want to one-off waste? Waste is pretty terrible. Fuck, they have a path. This is really unfortunate. Yeah, so we're gonna get a 2-for-1 here and get a land out of this, but like they get to eat our other smasher and then take 3 down to 2. So gonna be in a pretty bad spot left over. Yeah, playing waste in my Voice of Resurgence deck, and like my deck that has like white cards in it is pretty unexciting. Yep. They're about to draw a lot of cards. They're about to draw a lot of cards. If your goal is to make money while playing Magic Online, I've got a really solid piece of advice for you. You should go to work instead. That's my quality advice. If any of your decisions are to make money, are based on making money while playing Magic Online, you should just go to work instead. The tiny pennies that you are going to grind out while playing Magic Online are very small and very inconsistent, and having a job is just much better. What if I can play? That's fair. If you're getting paid hourly to play Magic Online, be my guest. Sounds like a good use of your time. So we're gonna get to trade Noble Hierarch for like their choice of things here. Aren't I making money playing Magic Online? No, I'm making money streaming content on Twitch. I'm making money streaming on Twitch. That's different. And I didn't start streaming on Twitch with the goal of making it a job. I started streaming on Twitch because it was something fun that I wanted to do in my spare time. If you want to not spend money to test decks, there are lots of free ways to do that as well. If you think Magic Online is going to be a huge step up from Cockatrice, I got bad news for you. Like there's a reason why it's a competitive thing as a meme on this channel. Hey, don't you shame my man titties. They're very voluptuous, okay? They're very voluptuous. I was a stay-at-home dad before I started streaming. There was a reason my kids, the first time they started going to daycare was when I started streaming full-time. Nope, haven't played any standard. I've played actual 0 standard. Alright, there's a jump blocker. I will not be at a CG Con. I did not qualify for the Invitational. I have no desire to play no banlist Modern. My wife is a business analyst for an insurance company. It's looking like they've stabilized pretty hard here. Flooding out a little bit. But I mean, like, the deck that I'm playing has a lot of mana sources in it. So, like, yeah, we are. Unless this bottom 6 cards, I'm just going to pack it in. I think Storm's a fine deck in Modern. I think anything that has a proactive game plan is a reasonable choice in Modern the Gathering. I don't really count playing the deck that Justin sent me in as playing Standard. That's like me registering a casual deck and calling it happens to be Legacy legal and calling it Legacy. This hand's pretty bad, right? Just like doesn't do anything fast enough. I feel like I can't keep a hand that doesn't do anything till turn 3. And like this hand doesn't even guarantee do anything on turn 3 because it might not draw a third land. This hand is much better. I don't think the Linvala is very good. Remember, chat. Sideboarding is a 1-to-1 process. So don't just yell at me that Linvala is good. Say Linvala is good and she's better than, and then suggest a card we cut. That's how you provide constructive, specific feedback. My opponent F6 their first turn, apparently. Or they mulligan, scryed bottom. They didn't discard, so they must have mulliganed. Do they keep a no-lander on 6? No land on 6 seems real mediocre. They must have just F6 their first turn. I mean, red-white burn is very good, and yeah, slime got boarded out, right? Yeah, slime's on my board. Is it nuts to just get a second Displacer here? No, I don't want to sacrifice my Displacer. Displacer is very good in this matchup. I have like Eternal Witness, and that's my only other option. Like Voice of Resurgence and Eternal Witness. I could just blink the birds in their upkeep and like wait a turn. Cause like if I draw a Voice or something like that, I'm gonna be pretty happy that I waited. I think just displacing their birds probably, right? Bringing Jace the Mind Sculptor to no ban list Modern sounds like Basic Blades, Mother of Runes, and Legacy. That's great. It's funny because it's true. Well, we got a whole lot of nothing going on, chat. Whole lot of nothing. Wow, they did in fact just keep a one-lander. Or a no-lander. Going on, Pinta. They have another path. They have a Gideon's Intervention. So path is definitely going away here. I cut Slime, because Slime's not very good in this matchup on average. Like, obviously it would be okay in this particular board state, but it's not very good on average, I don't think. I think I'm just going to go get another Displacer. But you don't understand, Hive Mind. They only got 25 minutes. It's not fair. It's not fair. Hey, look, my Demonic Tutor found the card I wanted. That's weird. That's weird. It's exactly the droid I was looking for. Yeah, I think EE is ideal, but I think if you're looking at budget restrictions, then Ratchet Bomb is the best choice. You can also just play Path to Exile in the main deck, too. Are we done here? Alright. 1-1. Quick loss to Amulet. Ran over a green-white player that kept a questionable 6 there. We have paths in our sideboard. I think Engineered Explosives or possibly Ratchet Bomb are better in the main decks. You could find them with Ancient Stirrings. I mean, you could argue that anti-cards are literally Magic as Richard Garfield intended it to be played. It's, you know, so calling them not real Magic cards is probably silly. Sit down for a bit. Ugh. How are we doing out there, folks? How's everybody's Tuesday going? Happy Tuesday. Spatial Contortion or Warping Whale? Yeah, maybe. Maybe the fact that, like, those are able to... The fact that those are able to get got off of Ancient Stirrings to make it worthwhile. I don't know. It's probably just worse than Path, right? Like, if your deck can make white mana, you should probably just play Path Exile. We died with Wet Ball in play against Amulet Titan. Hey, Lauki, thank you very much for the tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. As always, subs are the best way you can support what I do here, so thank you and welcome. I think land destruction is bad game design for much of the same reason that discard spells are bad game design. They remove one player's ability to make decisions during a game. Griselbrand, Dredge, Weaponized Variants, Griselbrand. Alright. Alright. Here's hoping we get a turn 2. Here's hoping we get a turn 2. You know, it's a real good thing I don't have Stoneforge Mystic in my deck. If I had Stoneforge Mystic, there's no way our opponent could ever win. Hey, Burgle, are you still here? Burgle, if you're here, how good would Stoneforge Mystic be in this deck? It'd be like fucking nuts, right? You get to like put your Batterskull into play, and then you get to put your Batterskull into play, and then evolve it away for a Thought-Knot Seer. That sounds great. Can I get Batterskull? Can I get Stoneforge Mystic in this deck? Sounds quite excellent. All right, thankfully, my Kithkin advisor is having none of Griselbrand shit. He's just like, nope, cut it out, get out of here. Yeah, I think so, Burgle. I think it would just be like generically just pretty reasonable. I don't think I want Path in this matchup. Do I want Path in this matchup? I feel like it's probably too clunky. We did, that's the joke. The joke is Stoneforge Mystic would make 0 difference here. I just want to play with sweet cards like Stoneforge Mystic, okay? That's all I want to do. All I want to do is play with sweet cards like Stoneforge Mystic. If other people get to kill me on turn 2, can't I play with Stoneforge Mystic? Can't I at least hold a Stoneforge Mystic in my hand? Oh, I forgot to post on Discord that I was live. Oh, Linvala. Totally forgot about Linvala. 10 out of 10 should be Linvala in my deck right now. That's fine. This hand is great. This hand is great. Ancient Tomb, Thought-Knot Seer, you cast Eidolon. If we lose this game, this matchup is unwinnable. Hey, Ulog, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is an easy take your piggy. Goodbye. Good night, piggy. Hello, sun. Hello, moon. What are my thoughts on Gavany Township in this deck? I think every land you have in this deck that doesn't make colored mana for your Voice of Resurgence comes at a very real cost. And I think you can't not play Eldrazi Temple. So like you need to be able to cast your voices consistently. So if you wanted to add Gavany Township to this deck, you would need to cut spells for it. This deck also doesn't go very wide, is also true. 10 out of 10 agree with that assessment. All the piggy wanted to do was go whoop the whoop, right? I don't think this deck automatically loses to the unfair decks. I actually think this deck has like an okay time against a lot of the unfair decks in. Obviously, like, you're going to get run over a non-zero amount of the time because that's why the unfair decks are playable in Modern, but like, this deck has like reasonable disruption and an okay clock. Why Eidolon over Aethersworn Canoness? Because you don't want all of your Storm Hate to die to Lightning Bolt. So, Eidolon doesn't die to Lightning Bolt, which is ideal. Because there wasn't a Smasher there? Was there a Smasher there? I'm pretty sure it was double Matter Reshaper, but maybe my eyes are bad. If there was a Smasher there, we definitely should have taken Smasher. Not close. No, they don't play Bolt Burgle. I know, like, the Bolt in the opponent's deck is very, very uncommon. Exceptionally uncommon. There was no Smasher. All right, I didn't zoom in. So like the fact that I didn't zoom in had me doubting myself. Yeah, I definitely want the Linvala. The Displacers are pretty medium. I think that's fine. I don't think I want these paths. Yeah, they should have Lightning Axe. They should have Lightning Axe and Collective Brutality and possibly Bantu's Last Reckoning. That seems great. You have a Demonic Tutor and a Wet Ball. Oh, fingers crossed we get a turn 2, chat. Well, that's good. Tap land on 1. It's a good sign that we might get a turn 2. Engineered Explosives is just the best removal spell that you can get off of Ancient Stirrings, so that's why we're playing 4 of them. Backup Wet Ball. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Do I want a backup Wet Ball? I actually think I'm going to take the Displacer, because if my opponent can beat a Wet Ball, they're going to be able to beat multiple because their artifact removal is generally Shattering Spree. You cannot equip a cranial plating. You cannot equip an equipment that's a creature. In fact, back when Tezzeret Agent of Bolas was legal in Standard with swords, you often Tezzereted their swords so they couldn't equip them anymore. It was great. Just A+. I think I'm just supposed to voice here. So that way I can evolution for a TKS next turn. It's not mana efficient, but it gets me more disruption faster. Like, I want to try and not die to a Through the Breach, ideally. Because, like, Breach Worm is their best way to beat us currently. Maybe I should have Path in my deck just because Breach Worm is so good against when we have our hate going. That's fair, Burgle. That's fair. I like getting the Voice of Resurgence going, though, because the token gives me more pressure. The taxing off the Damping Spheres does stack when you have multiple out. I should attack first. You think I should get Gaddock Teeg? I don't know. I think I want Thought-Knot Seer. I'm pretty sure, like, I'm asking myself, how do I lose this game? And, like, I'm pretty sure the answer is through the Breach World Spineworm. So I'm pretty sure I want to just TKS them here. Also, if they have, like, there's also spot checks for, like, a sweeper, like Bantu's. Blood Moon. I guess I care about Blood Moon. It kind of locks me out of playing my cards, right? If they draw a Through the Breach, we die, though. I don't think I can kill them with the cards I have in play. I think it's pretty unlikely that I kill them with the cards I have in play. And I guess there's a world where, like, I can block these tokens a little bit and then displacer them away. I think I need to take the Blood Moon there. Maybe I'm misevaluating and I should just try and kill them with these. I should have taken the Worm. Yep, I drew Through the Breach. It's a good beat. Yeah, I guess we're dead. Maybe I should just do that. I should just take that and then... That's actually a good draw. Yeah, I could have still cast Displacer. So, like, maybe that was reason to not do that. The problem is I'm at 3. And I have to trade the Displacer here. Oh my god, Damping Sphere turns off my... That's just good fucking deck building right there. Yeah, I think because I could have cast the Displacer, I would have put them on a 2-turn clock, right? So yeah, I think I misidentified. Like, I talked explicitly about how Breach Worm was the only way I was really losing that game, and I think I got tunnel vision on the Blood Moon too much. And if I would have taken the Worm, then they wouldn't have been able to rip Breach. Even if they Blood Mooned us the next turn, they would have been dead 2 turns from them. So I think I definitely lost that because I made a mistake. It's really, and like games like that, it's really easy to, how do I want to phrase this? Games like that are what make TCGs very difficult for people that aren't good at them or aren't bright or whatever you want to call it to improve at them, because it's very easy to look at that game that we just played and go, I was unlucky. I shouldn't, I took the right card, my opponent ripped exactly what they needed, and there was nothing I could do. When in reality, I can look back at my decision and think about why I should have done the other thing, and then been like, okay, I made the wrong decision, and I probably should take the other thing because I had enough clock anyways, so I would have had a better chance of winning if I took the Worm away. And that's one of the most difficult things to do to help you like level up as a TCG player, is even just making that first jump to be able to realize and really look back and reflect on those games objectively and be like, no, I messed up. It wasn't that they drew well, because they did draw well, but you can't control what your opponent draws during a match of Magic. So like, if you want to get better as a player, you need to focus on the things that you did and the decisions that you made that you could make better in the future. Oh god, could you imagine if we could evolve for Containment Priest? That sounds so great. Is this a 4/4? It's a 4/4? No, it's a Delves. It's a 5/5. Oh good, I got rid of the bird though. That's pretty good. Hey, Rad for Life Forever. Thank you for the brand new tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. I'm gonna play Noble here, and I'm just gonna play this other Matter Reshaper out because I don't mind double blocking to trade for this Garmageddon next turn. Yeah, it's a great life tool too. Like being able to identify things you can and can't control is definitely a good life tool. But I'm just saying, like in TCGs especially, because there's this variance element in these card games, it's very easy to ignore the things you can control and attribute everything to things you can't control. Whereas I think a lot of different places in life, like it's harder to do that because it's more obvious in a lot of ways when you fuck up somewhere else in life. All right, so do I Thought-Knot Seer here or do I Smash her? I think I Thought-Knot Seer, right? I had to sub for that punk. Can I get a complimentary timeout? Of course, Rad. I got you. I think I want a TKS here before their hand is empty, but I could also see an argument for just like running Smasher down their throat. I think we're winning this race either way. Wow, that's an aggressive attack. Yeah, no blocks. Smusher, gonna smush. All right. This is how we do. Thank you. Hopefully, I think I got the mute in time to not sneeze into the microphone there, but we'll see. We'll see. All right. Path to Exile is great here. Engineered Explosives is not. Rec Sage is fine. Cataclysmic Gearhulk is actually pretty bad here because opponent can keep Hollowed One in addition to another threat. Yeah, I think that's all we do. That's pretty clean. We just like trade explosives and slime for Paths and Sage. I think this is fine. Voice is pretty good in this matchup. And also, like, the opponent's deck is full of Burning Inquiry, so, like, you shouldn't mulligan hands that are mostly functional because your hand might look very different in a second. I'm really wanting to see Infect Plates. This should be enough to bump it up to see it this week. Thank you for the bits, McCullough. I will get those added. It jumps you. Same as waiting 10 days. Yeah, so if someone was talking about Eidolon in this matchup, I think Eidolon is not quite good enough by and large. I think it's a little bit too slow, especially on the draw. I feel like most people too, like, I feel like most channels don't really time people out aggressively, right? Like, I feel like you have to be, like, super aggressively offensive to get timed out in most Twitch channels. Whereas, like, we're very liberal here even without the memes. Like, I expect a certain level of competency and respect and reasoning from people, and that just doesn't happen in most places on Twitch. Why do I board out Slime? It kills Hollowed One and blocks Angler really well. Yeah, I think it's too slow. I think I'd rather have other, I think Thragtusk and Reality Smasher are better 5-drops by and large. Hey, Rain Spider 41, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime support. I do appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm gonna go ahead and path this bird. I don't even think that's strictly true. I think there's a lot of small people that are very desperate to have a lot of people in their chat so they don't time people out aggressively. But I also think I've seen a lot of big content producers that put up with far more shit than I would put up with. Here's $1. Can I get a timeout? That's my favorite. Send me a tip. Please time me out. Yes, deal. So do I want to witness here? I think I want a voice here. Because voice means I can evolution next turn. I got you, Rain. We got you. Next turn, I'm probably going to go name human, eternal witness, pick path up, path one of these. We're gonna take a lot of damage here, though. If they hit like Burning Inquiry, we're actually just dead. I assume Nourishing Lich is enough of a meme that I can trick you into playing it once I find a list that doesn't have Mystical Tutor in it. Oh, Ravan. Got him. Looting is not quite lethal, but it's pretty close. When do I lock in a deck list for a tournament? Depends on the tournament. Depends on how much I care about the tournament. Depends on the format. Depends on how much I've been playing the format. There's a lot of variables. I've definitely had decks locked in a week plus in advance before, and I've definitely like made changes the morning of. For green-white scales, and looking forward to Kiki Sealy Rekindled Soul. Thanks for the bits. I do appreciate it. This is probably a keep because we have Demonic Tutor for Ancient Tomb. If we miss on with our Demonic Tutor somehow, we have Path to Exile. Lobe, tending the team trio constructed. No, I don't. The people that I generally team with are Matt and Brad are commentating that event. So I don't have people that I'd play with. What a tilt. Wow, that's a fucking dagger. Just like, not only did we miss on Eldrazi Temple, but we just like didn't hit a land in general. That's really unfortunate. Oh, Demonic Tutor. I've been lied to. You're supposed to get me any card. Am I coming to Vegas for the team event in November? Maybe. Matt expressed interest in going to that. So, non-zero chance. Path now, because we might not have Path to Exiles in a second. Well, I mean, I'm glad they let me draw 3 cards, because apparently we weren't drawing lands for a while. God bless you and your variance machine opponent. Alright, so the fact that I drew this Voice of Resurgence means that I want to go Noble plus Voice this turn, I think. No, I'm not playing any regional events this weekend. Chicago regionals are generally huge. No, East Coast events are too far to travel for, generally speaking. Like, flights to Vegas are really cheap, believe it or not. T-Face, thanks for the 4-month resub. I really appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for the support. Third of a year. Thanks for putting up with me for so long. I have another Delve Threat here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, only 5 cards in the bin. Have another looting, maybe. Yeah. Yep, flights to Vegas are always cheap. Ugh. All right, we found an ancient tomb. It's pretty good. I need to go ahead and play this and Matter Reshaper out here. I need to find someone. I need to find someone that'll let me play on their team and play Jeskai Ascendancy. Cause I kind of want to play Jeskai Ascendancy whatever the next tournament I play in is. You think SCG should make a pro league? I don't know what that means. What does pro league mean? How is that different than what they do now? How would a pro league differ from what they already do? It's another Delve Threat. I feel like with this Smusher, we might be okay here. Like, once we get Displacer going. If they attack with everything here, I'm going to double block their Tasigur and take the hit from the Hollowed One. I knew about the interaction between Wet Ball and Eldrazi Temple when I put it in my deck. It's not, I didn't just throw it together. I know we play a lot of deck lists on stream that other people submit, but I put this deck list together this morning. It was based on a deck list we'd played in the past. I think the matches where you want Damping Sphere, the effect from Damping Sphere is going to be much greater on your opponent than it is on you. Do I want to? There's a deck list on your screen. If you're on mobile, you can type !deck in chat to get a link. I think I'm just supposed to pass here. I think I want to wait to start attacking until I can Displacer their board down. What's going on, Bolt Boy? Morning. Enjoy. Second bird here would actually be pretty bad for us. Yeah, Big Fish isn't that big of a deal. Displacer's going to go to town on this board. This bird's nugging us in the air. They have 3 Bloodghast in their bin worth noting, so like land's gonna be pretty scary. Yep, exclamation point donation queue. We'll get you a link to the spreadsheet that has most of the deck lists in it. Honestly, I think that's the direction Wizard should probably go, Succotash. If Wizard wants to really improve Magic as a spectator sport, like having all of your tournaments be like these large open entry tournaments probably isn't ideal. They probably need to readjust and realign how they handle things. Yeah, Jin, they have a good... Nobody's complaining about SCG's commentary team. If you haven't watched any of their more recent opens, SCG has a big problem with having too much ad time on their streams these days. The actual content to advertising ratio is not ideal on the current SCG streams. The latest Grand Prix coverage has actually really stepped its game up, and I think it's quite well done these days. Why would I want my ads interrupted by content, right? This attack's actually pretty complicated on the opponent's part, right? Like, they have to figure out how to not die in the backswing, especially because if they attack in, I'm going to get to cash this Voice of Resurgence in for a token. So, do I want to take this hit? So I'm attacking for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I just have lethal on the backswing, right? Almost. I almost have lethal on the backswing. I guess if I double... No, I can't double... I can blink plus Oasis. So if they don't... Yeah, I'm going to take this hit here. Because if they don't have anything else going on, I could just kill them with this Hashep Oasis. I think it's going to be end of turn. Blink 2 of your blockers. Oasis is only sorcery speed. So I can't push lethal at this point, right? Because if I blink both of these, I then can't activate Oasis, and then I only have 11, 13 power. So I guess I'm putting this into play and passing the turn. I guess I could attack with this. Now that seems aggressive. I just don't want to die in the backswing here. No, I want to leave the voice back because leaving voice back discourages my opponent from attacking with everything. And I think if they just attack with the bird this turn, I'm going to blink the bird to not take damage from it. Well, there goes our leg up. I think I'm supposed to blink their bird here because I just need to buy some time. I'm pretty sure they're only going to attack with the bird this turn. If they attack with everything, they pretty much die in the backswing. Because of my voice token. Stoneforge Mystic would have been very good in this game. You're not wrong. There would be a number of games where Stoneforge would be fine. Gavany's good on board stalls. That's weird. I didn't know that. So what are we looking to draw here? Another Displacer. Thragtusk would be great. Evolution gets us... Evolution's actually kind of the nut, right? Because Evolution turns our voice into a Displacer, which gives us a token and a Displacer in play. This is one of the more complicated modern board states I've been in a while. I feel like a lot of games don't get to this point anymore. It's just people running each other over. We're going to hold that. I wonder if I'm supposed to attack with a Matter Reshaper there. Because, like, Matter Reshaper trades with any of their 5 toughness things since it has double exalted triggers. And, like, if they don't trade, they're getting to hit for a 5-ball. Yes, that is correct. After we're done with this deck, we're going to play a Kiki Sihili deck, and then we're going to play a Gifts Prison deck to wrap the stream up for the day. No, I don't think so. I think Thragtusk doesn't really help us break this board stall. Eldrazi Displacer potentially lets us break the board stall. You want to ask yourself, how are you winning the game? Thragtusk helps us die slower to this bird. Evolution, like, actually helps us win. Yeah, I think I'm supposed to be attacking with a Matter Reshaper here. I think we're on the winning side of that, potentially. Am I dead if I do this? I get to block 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I get to block 4. I'm dead to removal if I attack with this at this point. I think I'm just obligated to just, like, start getting in there. That's pretty scary. Lets them see a lot of cards. Alright, I assume we're dead here. Probably got a Bolt or Collective Brutality. I think we're gonna be pretty dead to that regardless. That's the next card. That's really unfortunate. Maybe that was a bad attack. I don't know. Rick, hey there. This is for the blue-green devotion deck. 10 out of 10. I'll get that added later. Thanks for the donation. Yep. So green-white Eldrazi Evolution. This was a deck we played a few times, and then I kind of put it down. This deck, it feels a lot to me like the creature combo decks that we played. We're actually gonna play a creature combo deck next, so we might see this happen again. These decks aren't quite interactive enough. Yeah, you're right. We were dead even without the attack. They aren't quite interactive enough to keep up with the faster combo decks. And they aren't quite aggressive enough to beat, like, they're okay in a mid-range format, like this deck's Jund matchup, and this deck's Jeskai control matchup. Like, those matchups are pretty okay, but, like, things like Humans, and Hollowed One, and Grishlebrand, a lot of those decks are just going to run you out of the game a lot of the time. So, I think if you expect your local format to be, like, especially mid-rangey or controlling for some reason, I think this deck is a fine choice, but I think, like, if you're going to, like, large modern events, you should probably temper your expectations if you want to play something like this.